In a world with the unknown, unseen, and often forgotten, there is one team that will go above and beyond to find the truth. TEPS. Welcome to Paranormal Investigations. Join the team as they get to experience the true unknown of the abandoned Bethlehem Academy. Do these chilling halls have a story to tell? Are the horrifying stories true? Is the team able to communicate to the spirits that haunt the historical landmark in Hardin County, Kentucky? Stay tuned to find out what happens next on this episode of Paranormal Investigations.
Alright everyone, we are on our way to hang out at the Bethlehem Academy. So it's definitely going to be an interesting place. It has a lot of local lore. It's a good Elizabethtown location to investigate. So as you can tell, it's nighttime because we didn't have to commute pretty far. Well, most of us.
Yes, these guys, Jason back here, is actually, him and his wife traveled from Indiana. These are the newest members of our team. We're actually bringing along our actual new friend that we have met not too long ago.
Which is the real deal. We had some interesting tests to the abilities there.
And it panned out, right?
Yeah.
So,
like, she called stuff that was happening at my work, like, to the T. She's a very interesting person. I can't wait to see how she picks up on the place. Are you guys excited about this place?
oh yeah, definitely.
See what she says.
Yeah.
Definitely, yes. Definitely going to be an experience. And then on our way after this, we are going where?
Gates of Hell.
Yeah, we're going to spend a little bit of time out there. Last time we went out there, we only got to spend about an hour out there because it was freezing cold and it was snowing. So we will watch these guys up here. We got some speed racers up ahead of us and really trying to pay attention.
Right?
That's okay because we got GPS and we are almost there.
Oh shit.
I'll fill this one out for Megan.
Okay, so how much history do you guys want to be filled in on?
I think we're down with the whole shebang, right?
Yeah, full history tour.
Okay.
Tour.
If that's fine with you.
Of course. So this place was originally built in 1818. It was originally Governor Helm's home. And in a few years later, there were nuns, the Sisters of Loretto. They were in Breckinridge County and they were impoverished and had a mission. They wanted to create a all-girls school, Catholic school. So their acting father arranged for them to come here. So in December, they came on wagons with oxen. There were 5 wagons for all of them. There were 7 sisters. They had 1 fork between all of them. They were that poor. The journey all the way here was so treacherous that they compared it to Mary and Joseph's trip to Bethlehem. So that's why this place is called Bethlehem Academy. So they moved in, they started building up and then out. So the layout of the structure is kind of weird. It was just because they started with this room first. The sisters immediately were super self-sufficient. They had a farm, they had oxen, they made their own cheeses. They really just kind of they were in their own little bubble. They opened the school in 1830 and it ran for 128 years. And once that closed, we had a period of 20 years where it was vacant, so then it was used as barn space and the place completely deteriorated. Then in the late 1970s, a very wealthy couple named Edith Ray and Jean Ray, they came and Jean wanted to completely bulldoze the place and start over. She did not. She wanted to restore it completely. So in 18 months, she restored this to what it originally looked like in the 1800s. She wanted everything to be as authentic as possible, so she did not have central air. So she used all of the fireplaces, and electricity was kind of sporadic as well. We've had multiple deaths on the property just from old age and the sisters passing. So we do have a cemetery, but it's in the neighbor's yard, unfortunately. And I know that some were moved as well when they started building other places. So they moved that to the Gates of Hell Cemetery. There's some sisters there as well. During the Civil War, the sisters did have slaves, but they did free them.
Oh, wow.
So there is a full-size hidey hole down here that they kept. So you guys are welcome to come and look. To me, this is like one of the coolest parts. Like, I love it so much.
I like your favorite part. That's cool.
Yeah. I'm sure I have lots of favorite parts. This was the governor's printing room. Unfortunately, we do have some not so nice graffiti. We have, right after the place sold to the current owners, people broke in and had
Vandalized.
Yep. We've had lots of vandalism since then. People are just super curious about the place.
Curiosity is one thing, vandalism's another.
Yeah.
Especially with stuff like this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's a pentagram on the floor.
Yes, with candle wax and everything.
Oh, wow, they did the whole thing.
They did everything, yeah.
Wow, that's
So
coming
in here, this
It is very good on the camera.
I noticed when I went to take a step through it, you know.
I stepped back.
Yeah, I did too. I went like this and I looked down and I just see why I did that.
Right?
yeah, I know, it's just everybody around.
Yeah.
So this is the priest room. This is where the acting priest slept, ate, did his work, disciplined the girls. He kind of stayed to himself, and he had his own access out, so he didn't really have to interact with the girls hardly at all. Yep. A lot of people do report activity here. This room definitely has some activity. Voices. And
Okay,
things
is
like
this where we're gonna want to set up that box?
that. No. We have way more to do.
Nice.
Okay. So this is the kitchen. This is not the original kitchen. That's blocked off. The foundation's kind of fallen through. But when the Rays purchased the property and restored it, this was Edith's kitchen. You'll see all these little decorative things. All of this and all the pieces around the windows and in the Contessa Room, which you'll see next, are hand carved and imported from Europe. Edith Ray was originally born in Hungary, and she moved to Paraguay. And then her husband is from here, but he moved to Paraguay. They were in the oil business, and they had, it was definitely heavily rumored that they were in the drug business. And they one day were here, and then the feds were after them for tax evasion, and then the next day they were not.
Jeez.
Yeah. And then this place sold, became a bed and breakfast, then it was a restaurant, then they were apartments, and now it's just this. So we're trying to definitely restore it back.
Absolutely.
So that people could enjoy it. This is the oldest building in Hardin County.
Yeah, that's definitely.
Yeah, it's over 200 years old. This is the Contessa Room. This was Edith's pride and joy. You'll see all of the decorative stuff. Again, hand carved and imported from Europe. The stained glass, you'll be able to see what that looks like when we go upstairs. That one's still unhung. But yeah, she entertained in here. She had a piano and had music going at all hours. She really had this room filled to the brim with stuff. She was known to be on the tackier side of decor and things like that. So she, the place was jam-packed with stuff.
This is where it's happening.
Yeah. This room was very popular for weddings when it was a bed and breakfast. A lot of people got married here. Lots of parties. So it's definitely seen a lot.
Imagine seeing a dancing ballroom thing.
That's exactly what I saw when I walked in here. Is just a ballroom.
Ballroom dancing.
It's gonna see so much more.
Yeah. Well, and with Edith being from Europe, she was used to seeing the palaces throughout Europe from the 1800s. So it was very appropriate for the time because she was mimicking what the palaces looked like back then. So everything, while it seems very showy and kind of not on par with what we were, how the Academy was an academy, but she brought the 1800s back regardless, just in her own way. But this is probably the most palace-y you'll get in here.
It's very pretty.
It's incredible.
Yeah. This is the old chemistry lab. The sisters were actually pretty progressive. The school offered multiple classes that were kind of outside the normal, finishing school. So they learned chemistry, they learned mathematics, they learned just a whole bevy of things. Out here, there used to be a whole other wing. So what we have on that side, where you saw the length of the place, it actually was mirrored on this side as well, which I can show you a picture upstairs. The breezeway here goes into another room that was a classroom as well, which you guys will see. This place does have activity. I'm sure people can tell the difference in the energy. It's definitely a little bit heavier. Sometimes people have trouble breathing in here. They get nauseous, they get headaches. It's just kind of like a whole spectrum. I know people get reactions from the doors, especially the one on the other side. I've even had that happen multiple times. The door would be shut, and then it would be open when I come back, and vice versa. The lights in there as well. Like I do my rounds at night.
Turn the light yourself.
Mm-hmm. I have the keys. I'm the only one with the keys.
Right?
Yeah. Nobody else comes, but the light will be on. That light always will be on, or I'll turn it on and come back and it's turned off, and it's not even a light switch. It's like one of the turns. So yeah.
Gold.
Yes.
I mean, like on like it's a real part. Like if there's somebody hiding here messing with you, you don't.
Right. Well, and that's part of what I do before people come is I have to go through the whole building, make sure that nobody's hiding here.
Thank you.
Yeah, because I mean, the last thing we need is somebody jumping out like in the middle of.
Oh goodness.
They would not be happy.
with us.
Yeah.
I'm scary when I'm mad.
You turn green?
Yes. They won't like me.
So fight or flight, you fight.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But you'll see kind of some lovely curtains and yep, the tacky stuff.
I probably actually feel more comfortable in this room than in
Yeah, you feel it pretty big.
I feel more comfortable in
Yeah.
here. Like, even though the energy's heavier, it's actually more, I don't know.
That's what you're used to.
It's more comforting.
Yep.
Right.
I feel the same. You'll notice that there are lots of bathrooms that was added on during the bed and breakfast days. You'll also notice that they were kind of built into the room. So there will be walls that didn't exist before, and nobody ever changed or removed the light fixtures. So you'll notice a lot of really awkward light fixtures throughout.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like over here instead of here.
Yeah, we have 8 bathrooms and 12
Jeez.
fireplaces.
Oh, wow.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, do any of them work?
Some of them do. Not most of them don't. It's kind of hit or miss, honestly. Actually, the upstairs, this whole section, so when we go upstairs, like the whole thing, the fuse just went kaput.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So this whole side does not work, unfortunately. Pain in the butt.
Do we know how anyone like actually passed away? Anyone passed of like something of the head, like a head injury or something where of the head? Because yeah.
Yeah, there's been a whole bunch of different types of deaths. One of the nuns was crushed to death by the gate. An ox was pushing on it and crushed her to death.
Jeez.
Of course, head injury. I mean, this was a rough time, so they had all kinds of crazy injuries and died from. Of course, then we had disease, tuberculosis, and even war stuff. I mean, it was just kind of this place was just a
The scenes, almost
yeah.
everything.
It saw everything. It was the only thing out here. And it was one of 2 places in the entire state that accommodated the Catholic Church. So people traveling, when they came through Kentucky, they stayed here or they stayed in Bardstown. So this place has seen a lot of people. It's had a lot of traffic, lots of deaths. But yeah, they're all super random kind of
Wow.
passings. Yep.
You guys are not allowed to pass away on this trip.
Yeah.
Right?
Stay with us.
Yes.
I'm a lot better off.
Go upstairs. So when the sisters came, like I said, they did build up instead of out first. This, when the bed and breakfast was here, was kind of like the presidential suite. You'll see the random light fixture up there. This has the best bathroom, the biggest one anyway, 12-foot ceilings. But when it was the academy, before they built that whole dorm that doesn't exist anymore, the girls slept in here. The sisters slept across the hall in the room we'll go into next. I really don't have much that goes on in here. It's just kind of like, I don't know. It's hit or miss with this room. Oh, this to get to the electric.
Okay.
Yeah. Those are funky, right? It goes all the way up.
Right.
Like, why do they need that much? This place is so random, but.
Have you found like anything that's like hidden or any like secret rooms or?
Well, it was always rumored that we had a tunnel that led from the slave quarters to here, and that actually was finally discovered when the foundation was kind of not doing so great, and then they started taking it apart when they found it.
That's awesome.
So that exists, but that has to be reinforced, and then hopefully one day people will be able to see it. That'd be awesome.
Damn.
One of the stories I heard with them coming through the tunnel was that they had to whistle at all times so that the staff knew that they weren't eating the food.
Nice.
Yeah.
Don't forget to whistle.
Yeah.
on this trip.
No, I did that. We
Now don't whistle. Do not whistle. Because I will blame it on Rodney.
They weren't eating the food. Yeah. They did not want them to touch this. This is the room where the sisters slept. This was also a suite for the bed and breakfast. Another random light fixture.
Yep.
But this is a really great room because it leads up to the attic, which the attic is 2 stories. Also, this closet, this door has been caught on multiple videos moving on its own. It kind of does its own thing. So
Wow.
Yep.
It's
So I shut it to where it's like stuck, and then it's usually open when I come back. But, you know, it's kind of neat. Yeah. Y'all want to come up here?
this is
Don't anybody get lost.
Yeah. Okay, so I do have to tell you there is an animal up in here. It will not come out, so I think it's just more scared of us.
Cool.
But just be aware. So if you hear noise, it's typically, if it's over here, it's the animal. So this is the first attic space. The sisters would allow people to stay here. Anybody that was passing by, even people on both sides of the Civil War were able to stay here together.
Oh, nice.
The sisters were very, they led compassion first, then their religion. So it was kind of awesome just the way they led their life. Let's see. This place was also on the Hobo Trail. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, but you know, it's kind of self-explanatory. It was on the network, so lots of homeless people have come, drifters have come.
Come and gone.
Yep, it was a safe space for them as well. Just kind of throughout because it's been vacant off and on for so long. The next floor, we cannot stand on the actual floor because you see like the ceiling is coming through. But the stairs are sturdy, so you guys are welcome to look up there.
Go up
People
there.
leave their cameras up there sometimes to catch stuff because that place is crazy active. Some people get stuff in here, but it's really more up there.
Okay.
To me, when I walk up, it's kind of a strange feeling. It's usually just immediately, it kind of hits you in the face. Like, you know immediately, like, when
There's
you've
something up.
gone in there. Yeah. But it's very, depends on who you are.
Watch your
It's
head.
comforting some, but it's also kind of scary to others. So, just depends on the person. But,
Cool.
Yep. Let's go to the library. So, this was the conference room / library. When the Rays lived here, obviously this is where kind of like the man cave was. You'll notice that there's not a trace of femininity in this room. Not around the windows, not, it's like he told her, hands off.
This is yeah.
Yeah. This used to be a fireplace, and then this was actually turned into an apartment. So none of this should exist.
Oh, so this is all open.
Yep, it's all completely open, and if you look in there, when you walk through there, there's bookshelves. That's where the room ends.
Okay, and we're allowed to go back there, right?
Oh, of course, yeah. There's a bathroom light that'll illuminate the rest of that. I will tell you a creepy story that I've experienced here. I was actually here for a paranormal investigation. I do my rounds, turn all the lights on. I was standing in that breezeway right there with my back against the wall, like opposite there. And I was texting the people back, giving them directions. And all of a sudden I heard heavy footsteps. And they were, I typically, like, I hear footsteps throughout the place, and that doesn't bother me. You know, it's just kind of part of it. But this was completely different. It sounded like a human was here. And so immediately I'm thinking, oh crap, like,
Somebody's gotten in.
yes, and I was serious. I was so dramatic. I was like, "This is where I die." Like, I was ready. Like, I was thinking, "This is it."
This is it.
Yeah. So, but this very, very heavy footsteps sounded like a larger man in big work boots. So I could trace the sound of him, of the person going around, and then I worked up the nerve to look around the doorway, and there was nothing there. Footsteps stopped. Then I heard running back and forth up in the attic, and then I went downstairs. upstairs.
Okay, that's enough.
Yeah,
It's like,
but I did talk.
okay, you guys are good. It's already ready for you.
I mean, usually, like, typically I just immediately am like, all right, they're doing their thing, it's fine. But, yeah, I really thought it was a human. And then even after looking in here and not seeing anything, I wasn't convinced. So I was, like, talking out loud, like, negotiating. And
Nice.
like, you know, you can be here, just don't kill us. And,
Right?
yeah, but no, nothing. I sweeped the whole place
Okay.
2 times. Couldn't find anything. So
Lovely.
there's definitely potential in this room.
Yeah.
The whole upstairs, considering with the attic and everything,
Mhm.
that's a good one to just investigate.
Cool.
But let's go to one of the best places. Probably the most famous part of the entire building.
I like your change.
Okay, me too.
Oh, my goodness. We know Erica was here.
Yes.
Right?
Erica was so nice that she actually recorded a video of her doing that with her boyfriend and posted it on Facebook.
Oh, nice.
Smart. What is it?
Very, very kind of her to.
Here, Erica left her mark and
Video
In her video.
and posted online.
she's a smart one.
Yeah.
Genius, absolutely genius.
The person that filled out the transaction name before they wrote it and put it on
Oh my
Facebook.
gosh. So this is the room that I was telling you that the breezeway connects to. So that's the door that kind of moves in and out. Light switch goes on and off, that kind of thing. Oddly enough, people don't really get much. Right here, it's more in the other room.
Okay.
I'm not sure why. You can see right here, there was originally a wall.
Yeah.
Not originally, but this is where they had made another apartment. So all of this was a sectioned off apartment. Keep in mind, the room actually starts right here. And all of this stuff you'll see should not be there. So it's a completely open room originally. So it starts here, and we're gonna go around the stairs and you'll see where it ends.
Sweet. Let's do this.
This is
Oh.
Moses' room.
My.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
This was originally the church for the sisters. They actually had window boxes here where they slept and prayed, and then they would have their own private service here. When the Rays purchased the property, she added her little flair, and she also was kind of obsessed with
Trying to kill me.
the movie with Charlton Heston,
Yes.
something like that. She was obsessed with him, evidently, and loved the movie. So this was her favorite scene. So the whole room was going to be dedicated to Moses. So behind you guys here is where when Moses was an architect. The painter is actually still alive. He explained to me that that side was going to be where Moses parted the Red Sea, and then there were going to be other scenes as well. And then you'll see like these lights, like the old kind of like for museums and stuff. That actually is where his prototypes hung of what he was going to do with the rest of the room.
Yeah, hung up.
His eyes, that's kind of a lovely story. The Rays, when the painter was creating this, she gave him emeralds, but she called them crystals, and had him put real emeralds in the eyes. And then when they fled, the emeralds disappeared. And so somebody had to come in and fix the eyes, and now the eyes just kind of stare through you. I like Moses though. I like him a lot. Back there's another room. You see the door? That was where the priest would prepare Holy Communion. There's a handle right there. Yeah.
I love that.
Yep. It's also been a bathroom and a kitchen.
Oh, pretty big in here.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like that it's like kind of a secret.
Microwave.
It's the hangout spot.
Oh, wow.
You can hide in here. Dishwasher.
Now, how long have you all had this property?
My friends have owned it since 2014,
Okay.
I think.
And you just now started doing tours recently?
Yes, they had done tours periodically. It was his husband and wife that owned it. The wife was my friend. She passed away last year. It's okay. So So she had done tours when she was well, and then she was sick for a long time, so they stopped. So after she passed, her husband asked me to take over, and just kind of hopefully we can build the place up to what she was dreaming it would be too.
Awesome.
May I ask how your friend passed?
Yep, she had congestive heart failure. We do have, like up here, I always see Mother Superior, like the original. I usually see a few students. There's some activity up there. Typically, they love to just watch. The spirits here, most are super friendly and really just want the place to come alive again. It's like all they've ever wanted.
Yeah.
After I came here with Samantha, my friend, after we left, for days I was getting messages, and so I was sending her messages like, this is what they want, this is how, like they were very specific. But yeah, that's all they've ever wanted is for it to come back to life, because the building was meant to be of service to the community in some capacity.
So with it being shut down, it's
weird, yeah. And it's like the building deteriorates so quickly.
But when there's life in it, it
Oh, yeah.
holds and
That picture over here is where the dormitory was. So here's the academy that as of right now.
Oh, I'm
and
sorry,
then
you're
you can
right.
see back there, that's the rest of it.
okay.
The dormitory was where the girls slept. They actually had a lot of their classes there. They ate there. In the 50s, it was used as barn space, specifically hay. And then some kids came in and were smoking cigarettes and burned the place down.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny, I'm sitting here and all of a sudden, I don't know, just kind of everything went black and I just saw sparks.
Yeah.
And it was like a little.
There we go.
Yeah, it doesn't look the same.
No.
It just, like you said,
So is
just
that
goes
the
that
goal?
quick.
You wanna get
Oh,
it back
yes.
to
We
that?
want it to be back to that. Let me see if I have. This is another picture of the place with the extra wing that kind of shows more. Do you see?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. How much money are you all needing to raise to get this? Is that
Do you have like a like fund or anything, goal or?
We do, so the roof and the foundation, those are the first priorities. So that's gonna cost probably about $50,000.
okay?
Yep. And then after that is when we're gonna start, we'll have the place deep cleaned professionally, to get any lingering mold and things like that out, and then,
Safety
Yep.
things first.
Safety.
That's what you gotta do.
yep. And then I'll be able to paint, and then we'll hopefully be able to get better security and lights outside and things like that, so we can keep the vandalism at bay, because
That's
with-
what it comes to. Like people.
Yeah, once you have lights
Yeah,
and
something-
cameras.
Yep. We're hoping it'll keep them away.
lights and stuff maybe.
Yeah.
You need to have
They
a
have those
caretaker
signs.
move in.
That'd be nice, yeah.
And then
They
just
have
like
those,
live,
like motion
make one room
activated
safe for them to live
Yeah.
in. And, yeah.
People actually, since my friends own the place, like their niece lived here for a while. I mean, people have lived here. Usually, this is the space that they live in because it's the safest. It's not
Yeah.
been touched as much by all the other, the weather and the mold. And it was like the groundskeeper's house, things like that. There's a house close to where you guys parked, kind of directly behind us. That was the slave quarters. And then on the other side of that was, I think, like the carriage house, or where they kept vegetables.
So they split up the property and sold them all individually.
Yep. So this originally was 500 acres.
Jeez.
And it had
Wow.
a church, it had, just everything. It was completely self-sufficient.
So I take it they're not planning on selling anytime soon.
I don't think so, no.
I saw there was a home for rent
Yes.
on the grounds, so it's like,
Yeah, because I didn't realize, so we have the White House right here. On the other side, there's another house that was owned by the Academy, and they own that as well. So, like, they rent, all of these are rental properties.
oh geez.
Yeah, I would love to see the inside of them. I just think it would be so cool just to be able to,
Go into them.
and explain, like, what they look like, or...
Maybe $50, you'll let me go in your building.
Right?
So the White House was split up into apartments, and since I've taken over and gone through the emails, that's where people have sent messages talking about their experiences living in that house. Tons of people have lived there, a huge turnover rate, and people had some pretty scary, intense experiences.
Thank you for watching. Stay tuned to find out what happens next on Paranormal Investigation.
Do you like this portal box?
Don't be scared to go to the light, okay?
Recording that way, get to where we're going, and I'll start it again. Okay, well, we'll leave you to do your experiments. We don't want to bug you too long.
This junk. And Angela's standing right in the middle of the pentagram over here.